news with Eris Stewart. Good morning, Eris.
Good morning, Sophie.
The headlines.
Heavy rain watch remains in force as authorities urge vigilance. Agricultural sector braces for potential losses amid forecast downpours. Nation pays final respects to Lalit founder Ram Sigobin. Drugs worth over 100 million rupees destroyed under high security. National data strategy to reshape digital governance and privacy. Universities and employers collaborate to bridge skills gap. In world news, China executes members of major scam syndicate family. And in sports news, Campitié stand defending champions to go top of volleyball league. A heavy rain watch remains in force in Mauritius. According to the meteorological station, the advisory will remain valid until Friday at 10 a.m. Active cloud masses that had been influencing the weather had shifted east of the island, but other cloud formations approaching from the north may affect local conditions later this afternoon. Despite the situation, school activities are being maintained. The Ministry of Education and Human Resources has confirmed that all educational institutions, including special needs schools as well as technical and vocational training centers, will remain operational. Authorities are also urging the public not to rely on false information circulating on social media. We take a listen to Praveen Raghu, Communications Officer at the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Center.
A heavy rain watch remains in force until tomorrow Friday morning at 10 a.m. The education sector and all economic activities will continue as normal. The National Emergency Operation Command, under the leadership of the Commanding Officer of the Special Mobile Force, Premanand Badu, is closely monitoring the situation together with Met Services and first responders. The public, including devotees for the Thaipusam Kavadi, are urged to follow meteorological bulletins and adhere to instructions from the authorities. NEOC advises the public to stay away from mountains, waterfalls, rivers, watercourses, and other risk areas. During heavy rain, stay in a safe place or move to higher ground. Drivers are requested to reduce speed and avoid flooded roads. Emergency contact numbers: Police 999 or 148, Fire Services 115, SAMI 114.
And staying on the subject, the heavy rainfall expected across the country is causing concern in the agricultural sector. Many planters fear significant losses as crops are threatened by heavy showers and already saturated soils. Several farmers are rushing to harvest their produce in an effort to limit damage ahead of the anticipated rains. The funeral of Dear Prasad Sigobin, better known as Ram, will take place today. The funeral will leave the Mura Funeral Parlour in Petite Rivière at 10:30 a.m., heading towards the Montagne Saint-Pierre Crematorium in Bamboo. Members of the public wishing to pay their last respects may do so from 8:30 this morning at the Mura Funeral Parlour. Last night, many people gathered to pay tribute to Ram Sigobin, founder of the Lalit Party, who passed away at the age of 85. The ADSU headquarters proceeded yesterday with the destruction of drugs valued at 101.8 million rupees at the Central Barracks. The substances destroyed included mainly cannabis, heroin, synthetic drugs, and psychotropic substances. The operation was conducted under tight security in the presence of several police units and officers from the Forensic Science Laboratory. More on this in this report voiced over by Shrina Apadu.
Synthetic drugs, cannabis, heroin and psychotropic substances seized across the country have been removed from the exhibit room at the Line Barracks for destruction. The police officer who carried out the seizure accompanies his consignment, which is meticulously checked before being placed in the incinerator. In total, drugs with an estimated value of 101.8 million rupees were destroyed. DASP Suhail Lidialam, head of the police press office, stated, "This exercise concerns drug cases where there won't be any prosecutions. These cases do not have any accused, or the accused have died during the investigation process. Cannabis are put into two categories: cannabis herbs and plants. For herbs, the value stands at around 18 million rupees, and for cannabis plants, 66 million. Heroin amounts to 12 million rupees and 199,000 for MDMA or psychotropics. The worth of synthetic drugs seized is over 5 million. DASP Lydia Lam said that this exercise takes place in the presence of officers from the Forensic Science Laboratory, the police headquarters, and all other units concerned by drug seizures, an operation that takes place at least twice a year in order to dispel dispose of substances seized during various investigations.
The National Data Strategy is aiming to improve the way data is shared and used in Mauritius in order to accelerate digital services and innovation. The strategy also introduces a stronger framework for data security and privacy protection and announces reforms including a proposed Freedom of Information Act and an update of the Data Protection Act. Let's take a listen to more on this report.
To run a digital state, reliable data is essential. However, the National Data Strategy highlights that the storage of our national information is still fragmented. The objective is therefore to harmonise data sources. Managing and utilising it in a unified environment requires first and foremost a national data management and usage strategy. According to the strategy, data sharing is then organised according to 5 models. The document also emphasises safeguards. Access must be regulated and data protection must remain paramount. A single government application is also planned to consolidate several services in one place. To ensure coordinated implementation, the strategy provides for the establishment of a data management unit tasked with overseeing data governance. Beyond strategy, the Data Protection Office has already submitted a proposed Freedom of Information Act to the government, a much-anticipated legislation that directly addresses access to personal and non-personal data. A memorandum of understanding has also been signed between the Data Protection Office, CERT-MU, and the police to facilitate information sharing in the handling of certain cases.
And in other news, in an effort to strengthen links between universities and the world of work, both in the private and public sectors, a workshop was held yesterday in Balaclava. The main objective is to reduce the gap between graduate skills and employers' expectations. This initiative is led by the Ministry of Tertiary Education and implemented by the Higher Education Commission. Academic institutions and businesses are collaborating to co-design micro-credentials, shorter, targeted programs that equip students with skills directly demanded by the job market. And it's 9:07. You're listening to RM1. We move to international news, where in China, 11 people have been executed from a notorious family that operated scam centers in Myanmar, according to state media. A court in Zhejiang province sentenced the Ming family members for crimes including homicide, illegal detention, fraud, and running gambling operations. The family had controlled the town of Laokang near the Chinese border, transforming it into a hub of casinos and illicit activity before their arrest in 2023 and extradition to China amid a Beijing-led crackdown. And finally, in sports, on the local sports scene in volleyball, for son Flac Caen-Etier VBC secured a convincing straight sets victory over defending champions Catrabon VBC at the Pandit Saadeo Gymnasium. This win hands Caen-Etier sole leadership of the standings, making them the only unbeaten team so far and inflicting Catrabon's first defeat of the season. That's all from me this morning.